Coaches, if you're tired of the broken funnels and wasted leads and marketing that just isn't converting, you are in the right place. Certified or not, starting out or been doing this for a long time, it doesn't matter, because in this training, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to map out your customer's journey, optimize every step of your funnel, and how to turn cold leads into loyal, raving customers. This isn't another cookie cutter funnel training by any means. This is a detailed training where I'm going to break down the real strategies that actually work for coaches just like you without the spammy, pushy tactics. So grab a notebook, have your pen ready to fill with ink, and start taking notes. Let's dive into it. I am so excited to talk about this topic with you all and what's either helping, preventing, all the above from getting you to the ultimate sales and dream outcome that you desire. Because everyone in this room is a subject matter expert in something. Everyone's got a little bit different of a topic and how they approach it and their background. So it's important to share that with as many people as possible. So before we begin, I talk fast, so I'm going to roll through a lot of slides. I'm from the East Coast. The marketing secrets I'm about to share with you here today, it's going to be easy to comprehend, providing you with immediate understanding for your next steps and how you can achieve either your first 10K per month, growing it to 50K per month, or scaling past $100,000 per month for your coaching business. I've personally scaled over 6 clients so far that have hit $1 million months, and it's all through what I'm about to teach here today. So I hope your pens, pencils have all the lead and ink ready to go. I got lots to talk about. So the cost of lost customers. Every lead that drops off is money left on the table. Pretty well aware of this all, right? If I didn't come here talking today, or if I didn't introduce myself to anyone, or if I just didn't show up, I lost everyone. And why you're not scaling to the point that you want to scale. Lack of proper funnels, which we're going to talk about, confusing messaging, and broken customer journeys. If there's 3 words that you take out of this whole thing, money hates confusion. I'll say it again. Money hates confusion. So today, you're going to learn the 7 key components of your customer journey and funnel styles, so that way you can completely flip the switch from frustration to cash flow. And that's growing cash flow, not plateauing and trying to figure it out again. That's growing cash flow. Does that sound fair? Excellent. And just so we're crystal clear, in this talk, I'm going to cover the importance of a customer journey, understanding the 6 critical steps in a customer's journey. What's a sales funnel? The secret to funnels that convert. Common misconceptions about funnels. Building your sales funnel, getting started, and how to measure your funnel success. All the big people out there, the Tony Robbins, the big names out there that do coaching, consulting, teaching, mentorship, you name it, are using the exact things I'm going to teach here today. Sound like a plan, Stan? Let's make it happen. Now, before we get started, let's discuss the elephant in the room. Who the heck am I, and why should you listen to me? Other than a nice intro that I had, why should you listen to me? Tyler covered a few of these here. I've helped hundreds of coaches and subject matter experts triple, even 10x their revenue with not only old school marketing methods, but the new school marketing methods. Not this stuff where you get an ad. Raise your hand if you've gotten an ad on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, where it starts off with coaches, consultants, and experts. You need this new high ticket funnel, etc. I don't do that type of thing. I create longevity for growth in your business. Scaled 2 earlier marketing agencies, founder of a new marketing agency now. We've heard of ClickFunnels, Go High Level, all those, System.io, certified expert in those. Designed personally over 200 funnels, and my agency's done well over 2,000. I just did my first TEDx event last week, actually, talking about this stuff, done a whole bunch of magazine articles, etc. And yes, 12 million, it's actually 15 million now, as I checked this morning, for the people that I've worked with, that I know of, in additional revenue for clients. And I'd love for everyone in here to add even more to that number. Enough mumbo jumbo. Let's learn how to map your customer journey and build funnels
that convert. So what is a customer journey? This is the emotion, the logic, and the psychology that people take from, I just saw you for the first time, I have no idea who you are, all the way up to, I'm your biggest, most loyal fan. I'm telling everyone about you. Take my money. I have no clue who you are, the biggest loyal fan. People buy with emotion and justify with logic. I'm sure you've all heard that before. Period. What is a funnel? A funnel is the visual representation of that customer journey blueprint through various website pages that focus on solving one singular problem that requires them to make one decision per page. This is critical. And in another presentation I did not too long ago, over 97% of coaches, consultants, experts, mentors, teachers, etc., have screwed this up. It's okay. You're not alone. But there's a jumbled website that your niece made you on Wix that's got about this, that, services, bio, blog, all kinds of buttons all over the place. Money hates confusion. One problem solved per page, one action per page. And there's many funnels in a customer's journey. This brings up storytelling, the copywriting, good graphics, and the actions that someone would take. The importance of a customer's journey. Your leads, prospects really, go through a predictable phase. The predictable phases through the whole step. These are the same predictable phases through, well, pretty much everything that's sold online, any product that's sold, the whole nine. They're all the same rolling through. How they adapt to your clients is slightly different in what you put in that messaging. And understanding your customer's journey helps you create effective funnels. If you don't know your customer's journey or have mapped out and understand where they're coming from and how they need to get to a paying client, it's going to be extremely difficult to close or even high ticket. How familiar does this sound? I created a website, and right on there on the front page, I got a whole bunch of information about me, and I have a button that says to book a call now, book a strategy call, book a discovery call. That works a little bit. Doesn't work for long, and it's not sustainable. There are pretty much all of the clients I've worked with have had something very similar to that, or nothing at all to start with. And then as soon as we map out the customer journey, we can understand, well, what is that first step? What do they need to see? Are you trying to get, oh, this is what you need, or do you need to understand what their problem is immediately to start feeding them what the solution is? Each phase requires a different strategy to keep them, keyword, engaged. Critical. And the key to knowing what your customers need, the key is knowing what your customer needs at every single phase. So I brought up earlier that initial point. They just saw you for the first time. I'm going to use an example of a C-suite executive leadership coach throughout a couple examples here. They just meet you for the first time. I don't know who you are. They barely remember your name. They want a problem solved, and they need to know how they're going to get there. Are you going to bring them awareness further of that problem? Imagine if I just walked up and said, hey, I'm going to help all your funnel stuff, and it's going to be 10 grand to do so. You might, Joe, thanks. Have a nice day. You have to tease them with emotion of, if they don't go in this direction, this is where they're going to end up. Here's a few things that could help you to bring awareness to that problem and moving forward all through every phase. And the goal behind this whole map is that everyone that you come in contact with, everyone, should start at that awareness phase, and it's a numbers game, work their way through the entire step of the customer journey. If they like this and know this about you, they'll move to the next step. If they like this and know this about you, they'll move to the next step. And when they have this emotional feeling about you, it's easy to go to the next step. But if it's not mapped out, it's just a bucket with a whole bunch of holes showed in it and just water just leaking everywhere. It's the most common see, and also a very easy thing to fix if you have a good marketer on your side. Now, I'm not going to go into every single one of these pieces, but these are the 6 critical phases through a customer journey map. Now, I'm not going to zoom in on here. If anyone has that good a vision, you need an award. I can't even see it. But we're going to go through those 6 quick phases. And for example, on the right side are things that you should be doing. And on the left-hand side are the emotions that the person you're trying to get engaged is feeling at that time. And in many cases in here, it's, let's see, the second column over, for example, do they care about you? In the beginning, they don't care about you. They don't care about your bio. They don't care about the back end. They want to know, do you understand my problem? And what's the first step you're going to take to resolve it? How many pages I've seen where it's, I need a paragraph after paragraph about my background. They don't care. They do not care, I promise you. But 2/3 of the way down, then they start to care. Allow me to explain. Phase 1 is the awareness phase. This is done through multiple different ways. Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, YouTube channel, speaking at events. There's a number of different ways to bring awareness, just like I'm doing right now as an awareness phase to you all. There's a number of different ways to go about doing it. They don't know you. So what is your goal in here? It's to get them to notice you and become curious. That, okay, I see what I've noticed it almost at every table so far. Okay, and someone's writing something down. The curiosity phase, right? Use attention-grabbing content to introduce your brand. So, as I mentioned, social media, networking, ads help you get to the right audience. We've all gotten, I'm sure, ads that say, coaches, consultants, etc. You need to do this DM structure. Oh, this is what gets all these clients to $1 million months. You need to have automated DMs. Or you need to send out thousands and thousands of in-mail messages through LinkedIn. Or you need this new DM structure through LinkedIn. I don't know about you. I don't even look at my messages on LinkedIn anymore. It's all automated and it's outdated. It's, hi, Joseph, I noticed your page in your recent. No, you didn't. We know this, right? What used to work does not work, and there's several methods out there to bring awareness to the people where your target audience is. And these ads that say you need Facebook ads, etc. Some of you do. Some of you, your main focus is on LinkedIn full-time. Some of you, your main focus is doing networking events. It all depends on you. And there could be 2 executive leadership coaches here today where they can have completely different strategies. I make it very clear. Everyone in this room, even if you are all executive leadership coaches, for example, have different strategies to close people. And that's why you need someone to map out the entire structure so that way they understand you and you're not cookie cutter. Without awareness, the rest of your funnel doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. I'm sure you've seen ads as well too. This new high-ticket funnel will guarantee $100,000 per month for your new coaching consultant business, etc. What about awareness? How are you getting people to that funnel? Is the high-ticket funnel that they're offering you correct? Is it the right layout? Does it talk about your specialty? No. Awareness is that first key phase. Phase 2, discovery, growing your list, giving value. We've heard this many times before. Value, 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 value. And the biggest advice I got from Dan Kennedy, I don't know if anyone's ever heard that name before, give so much value to them. And you think, well, I need to charge for this. I need to charge for this. All of your secrets, just give them away as much as possible before it takes up too much of your time. If you can write it down and give away a secret and give it away at times 1,000, do it. As soon as it starts taking up some of your time, then you start charging. So these are lead magnets. I'm sure we've heard that term before. Quizzes, templates, free challenges, work to collect those emails. And at this stage, people start recognizing they have a problem. They're curious. Now I'm going to go back to my executive leadership coach example right here that we worked with someone. At the end, I'll kind of show you their results. But here's what we unveiled for them. In that first phase, awareness, where are their key clients? Well, after mapping out exactly his specialty, what he was good at speaking at, what he enjoyed, maybe creating content and being witty and funny and posting stuff up isn't his thing. It's okay. There's also other methods. It's personalized for you, okay? So doing workshops and posting them on LinkedIn was what mapped out and ended up working best for him. Knowing his whole background, we set it up. And what was it driving people to? Awareness, brought awareness people. Hook brought them in. What was the hook? What type of leadership style do you have? And I believe there were 4 different main leadership styles for him, but it was most leaders get this wrong. And if you don't adapt with all 4 leadership styles, it can prevent you from being the legacy leader that you desire to achieve. This 30-second assessment. Okay, great. I want to know awareness. Okay, he posted it up. I now know who this person is. What's the next action? A discovery piece, that lead magnet. I go in, I click through. I say, okay, yep. How do I treat my team members during this type of moment? During a catastrophe in the company, how do I do this? If someone's doing something at this level, how do I go out and treat it with respect? How do I create great camaraderie throughout my business? All those things, right? And there's different options for him. And at the end, great, we have your results. I need your name and email. And I'd be happy to share your results with you. Well, now I just spent 30 seconds a minute thinking through all these items. Of course, I'll give my name and email. I want to know what kind of leadership style I have and how to fix it. The goal is to offer something so valuable that they want more and more and more from you. In this example right here of the leadership coach, what style are you? Great. Here's what style you are, and here's what that means, and here's what's missing, and how you can adapt and hit this in this time frame. All right, this guy made a good point. Okay, what's next? That's the goal. And if it's done properly through great copy and storytelling, etc., you can get them to the next step at a very high conversion. Now, phase 3, relationship, building trust. They don't buy from strangers. Show them that you get them. Now, this is done with email sequences, storytelling to the max. This is a hot topic and hot word right now. And education that builds rapport. You're going to break myths, share insights, and prove your authority. I'll go back to the leadership example right now. How did he go about doing this? So someone comes in, they understand now what type of leadership style they have, and what type of sequence or information should they get. Maybe it's a video. For him, he's not comfortable speaking on camera too often. Okay, we're going to make email sequences and build out, there's all kinds of unique AI tools that have a person talking with your voice, right? We ended up doing something like that for him. And I was a CEO for 22 years. I got lucky as a COO. I came as a CEO. I sat down at my desk and I was wondering, what next? I was confused. I was frustrated. I was wondering, what team do I hire? What book do I read first? Oh, geez, all this John Maxwell stuff. Do I just read this and just keep cranking through it? Who do I follow? I didn't know where to turn. And I had a mentor at the time. And I started to do what I needed to do, what I thought I needed to do. And slowly but surely, I listened to my team. I went to the lowest level in the company and listened to what their problems and frustrations were. And I talked to the managers and leaders above. And he said, I completely removed management out of my entire duties, and I focused on leadership. And just like you may be in the same situation. It's relatable, understandable. There's a load of people who talk about when reading stuff like this storytelling, you should be really nodding your head going, yes, yeah, oh yeah, I get it. That's me. Trust. They understand you. They know where you're at right now. If trust isn't built here, they'll never make it to the next phase. Never. We're in a world now where, I'm sure we all know, people who call themselves coaches is growing and growing and growing and growing. And I'm not going to get life advice from a 21-year-old coach who just started driving and just went to a bar for the first time last week. No way. But some of these guys are making money. They're cranking it on YouTube. What the heck? How? Why? And it builds a lot of people who are frustrated saying, I fell into this trap. It didn't work. There's some storytelling behind it. But for you all, certifications, you have a love for this, a passion for this. You are the expert in exactly what you teach. You have to separate yourself from the rest of the pack. Now, not each one of you here isn't in competition with someone else because you bring something unique to the table. Each and every one of you, your experience, your background. Not two same of you have the same one. Same example I just brought up of that CEO I brought up, and that CEO that I talked about was the company was acquired by State Street. It then sold for, what was it, 500 million or something along those lines. He learned everything through M&A, through the whole transaction, the frustrations of working with others, how to communicate well, active listening. We all know those, right? And everything in between. And it just brought so many CEOs and VPs going, I get it. I want that. I need to be able to trust you. Phase 4, consideration, becoming the go-to expert. People research. Now, many people, they convert right away to the first step, next step, quickly, with emotion and minimal logic. Other people, I want to learn more about this. Who else is out there? Is this the same price as that other person? Well, why should I choose them over this person? They're going to do research. Case studies, keynotes, testimonials, all of those are key. They're crucial. How have other people worked with you? How do they feel? What are their results? Now, maybe not so much a quantitative result, but a qualitative result. Testimonials that say, instead of, oh, I work with Joe and I went from this dollar amount to this dollar amount and it was great. Okay, it may be good to some, but to others, and also many coaches' clients, I was frustrated at this point. I didn't know where to turn. They listened to me. They understood me. They really cared about what I had to say. They understood my desired outcome, and we worked together to map out from my main pain point to my desired outcome how long that bridge was, how sturdy it was, how fast it was to get across, what car are you driving across, the whole nine. Those testimonials by many people, they hear and they go, wow, there's no dollar figure, there's no anything else behind it. Yeah, I want that. So so many people desire. So just like me getting in front right now, speaking in front of you all, I'm going to take this and use this as an opportunity to help with consideration. On consideration phase, people who are thinking, but do I really need this? Of the authority figure in the field, the go-to expert. This is what I do for coaches. Phase 5, conversion, closing the deal. Now they trust you. Think, all right, you're the right person. I got this dialed in. Okay, I realize I have a problem. I realize what my desired outcome is. There has to be a solution to it. And I think you're the person to help me out. Removing all levels of risk as much as you can. Eliminate objections and sell. This is also one of the most difficult pieces to coaches. Are we all big salespeople out there? Most aren't. Everyone's working on selling well. And how many times have we had a discovery or strategy call where we've heard, I need to think about it. Our husband, now's not a good time for this. I'm not too sure if you're the right person. The list goes on and on, all these objections. And, we're not the big salespeople of the world. I get it. If you can eliminate as many of those as possible before they get to that call, that's what these steps are doing. So at the whole customer journey, if you start from awareness and try and take them right to this phase, I've heard about, I click on discovery call. What percent of people are going to go, oh yeah, I'm going to shut up and give you my credit card immediately. It's going to be extremely small. So they have to go through those other phases. So that way, when they come through here, it's a no-brainer. They understand, they believe, they respect, and you just close people at such a high rate. The executive leader I was talking about, for example, he still had strategy calls, and in this phase, he was at about 15%. Now he's over 80%. He was qualifying everyone. Some people didn't have the money right then and there, but he had something else for them. They didn't have the time right then and there, but he had something else for them. He was able to handle every single objection all the way through and provide them what they needed throughout their customer journey. And if they were ready for that next step of that one-on-one coaching or consulting or coach-sultant, as he calls himself, right? They were ready to do so. So guarantees, testimonials, addressing these hesitations head on in this phase is crucial. Limited time offers, bonuses. Now, I say that some of you, it would work best for those, others, not. It has to be everyone in here, like I mentioned, it has a different layout of their funnels, but ultimately, it's the same customer journey from emotion to logic. And most importantly, making the buying process as seamless as possible. Remember, money hates confusion. It hates it. If they are confused, they will not move forward. Phase 6, the phase that's not often talked about. I'm not sure if anyone here has any marketing background or has built up their own funnels or has worked with an agency before. A common end of that funnel phrase is that sales point, and then, okay, I'm bringing them back to the top. And they forget this, loyalty. So for the example of the executive leadership coach I brought up, let's say they come in and they say, I want a one-on-one session with you to discuss my leadership style, what's missing, and a blueprint of how to achieve and connect with the other 3 leadership styles so that way I can win and become the ultimate legacy CEO out there. Who doesn't want to become the next maybe Steve Jobs or any of these names out there where they're known for being leaders. They led a team and they were respected. They hopped up on a stage, clapped, or whole nine. Maybe they want to write a book. Everything in that area. These people here, when you sell them, they want to know what's next. So for him, again, they took that first 1-hour session, and the goal is to get people saying, well, okay, great. How do I need what's after this? Well, what's after this is I do either monthly or I can do on a retainer for X amount of months for you to result being ABC, for example. You don't want to give them the whole kit and caboodle, the big bullseye offer yet. You want them to beg for it almost. You want everyone coming saying, what else do you have to offer? That's the goal. And that can only be done with proper messaging throughout this whole step. So think of it, you have someone that comes through, they buy one strategy session with you after they've gotten through these phases. They want to know what's next. That turns into, call it 6 sessions to discover and map out, and then you'll have all the information you need to achieve those total 4 leadership styles. Now that you have all those 4 leadership styles, how can I have someone help me moving forward? You're not going to get coaches, right? We understand this. It's not you're going to get every result you need in 4 weeks. Not possible. However, I can give you the information you need to hit that full outcome in 4 weeks. I can create the full blueprint of there in 4 weeks or 6 weeks, whatever it may be. Again, each of you is a little bit different. And they're going to want more. This is the ultimate phase here, getting people to say for long-term revenue growth. They're the people that come up and say, I work with this person. I love them. Wow, they did so much for me. And then eventually they can become affiliates for you, saying, hey, if you want to go over and push my name out there, I'll give 15% of what this total big package is. And they become your free salespeople. This is a huge phase in getting people in. Happy customers buy again and again, and they trust other people who refer back in. Great. Now you know the psychology behind this. It's time to match this with funnels. So that was the whole emotion, that whole journey people take running through the process. But how do you paint that? How do you put words behind it? Where is it posted? What does it say? What's the graphics? What is it a quiz? What kind of funnels do I need? How many of us have done webinar funnels before? Okay. Or workshop funnels, or they got a high ticket funnel or a lead magnet funnel or any one of those components. Which funnel is right for you? How many funnels? What does that look like staged through the customer journey that I just brought up? But first, why do traditional websites miss opportunities? I brought up earlier how almost all of the clients I've worked with, spoken with, etc., they say, well, I had someone create something on WordPress. Yeah, it was great. I have something on Wix. My grandson did this for me. Looks great. Took a couple pictures of me. It's on there. It's okay. I don't need that. Having just a website can mean missing out on, of course, valuable sales opportunities. And if you have a traditional website, you're missing out on well over 90% of sales opportunities. It is a massive, massive miss. And this information site, it's really what a website is. That's all it is. It's an information site. It lacks the necessary engagement with emotion to close sales effectively. Now, websites have their place, and some of you need a website. Others of you don't need a website at all. You need to go directly to funnels. Now, we've all heard the term SEO before. You need SEO on your website. Woo, okay. Think of your website as a link to the page that goes from your email signature or your LinkedIn page. It's the big base. This is what the whole kit and caboodle is. It's not, you don't send that to people who are saying, I'm interested, what's next? It's not building awareness. It's just I exist. Think of it that way. A traditional website. It's a huge miss for so many that have a website with all these links up top. I need more blogs, this, about me, more about me. No one cares. Not yet. And without a funnel, prospects might leave your site, very well likely will leave your site without converting. It's not good. It's not what you want. This leads to lost revenue, reduced customer engagement. It's time to rethink your online strategy. The role of engagement in funnels. I brought up engaging, huge. Engaging your audience is at the heart of successful funnels. Have we heard the term before, above the fold? Does that sound familiar? Okay. When someone comes to a funnel page of yours, or even a website, or any page in general, the goal is to get them, well, let me rewind. About 10% of people will keep scrolling through that funnel. Sometimes 20, sometimes 50. Is the information you have at the very top, that title, so intriguing and relatable? They read it and go, that's for me, that they have interest in scrolling through. If the key headline that you have on top of your funnel page says, I help leaders with executive coaching, they're gone. They're gone. They need to have a taste of the solution. How quick? How fast? Why you? You need to know that immediately. And providing value and addressing pain points is essential in every stage. Later in here, I'll bring up further of the key things that have to come through, but I'll say them even right now. You need to understand their pain points. You're going to start seeing results. I say you start seeing results. Again, coming to the awareness of the problem. That may be 2 days, 3 days, 30 minutes to find a quick solution, and then 5 days for the next big solution. And then over the next 9 months, you'll be able to map out A, B, and C. The more engaged your audience is, the higher the conversion rates will be. The more relatable, the more entertaining. Have you gone through a page before, clicked on an ad, and you've scrolled and you go, yeah, no, I get it. That's what you want. You want same, a sea of people nodding their heads saying, I get it. That makes sense. Ooh, yeah, that is me. Okay, yes, throughout your page. Imagine going to a website of someone saying, I help leadership coaches. About me. Hi, I've done this, and I've helped. Boring. You lost them. It does not work. Common misconceptions about sales funnels. I'm pretty sure we've all gotten ads on, you need this funnel. And yes, there are funnels out there, but your whole journey needs multiple funnels. Again, stage by stage, one problem, one solution, rolling through one action. Many think that these funnels are just the software, like ClickFunnels or High Level or System.io or Kajabi, any of those. Well, these are the tools you need, yes. Real funnels encompass far more than just templates. And there's lots of templates out there and lots of people selling ads on here. Just fill in the blanks of this, this, and this. It needs to be specific to you. Some high ticket funnels have a long front sales page depending on what the topic is. Some are super short. Some are what's called a VSL, video sales letter. Some are quiz. Some are a video quiz action. It depends on you. Okay. Building your sales funnel. I brought this up earlier. I'm going to leave this up for a moment here. These are the key things. If you can't define these, you're not going to convert at a high level. Who is your ideal target audience? It's not everyone. Well, anyone who's dealing with this. No. For the leadership executive coach, his original answer was, well, it's just people who just don't understand and they need leadership and they're kind of stuck. And okay, who? Men? Women? What industry? Are they VPs? Are they C-level? Are they COOs aspiring to be CEOs? Are they entrepreneurs? Are they in their 20s, in their 30s, or in their 40s, in their 50s, or in their 60s? It has to be very, very dialed in. Extremely dialed in. Imagine going to a page where it said, VPs and executive leaders, you've gone through the rat race and trenches to hit your level. Congratulations. Over the last 20 years, it's time to hit the legacy success you need as the ultimate CEO. Who does that resonate with? People who've been in the industry for 20 years, VPs, executive, exactly that target audience. And you can map who that page goes to. You can find who your target audience is and map it to them. It's not to everybody, it's to them. For example, I have a funnel that goes to coaches who are starting in the fitness industry. I have some who go to coaches who are going in the life coaching industry. I have some that go to executive leaders. I have some that go to early entrepreneurs. But if I had one that was, I help everybody, that would be difficult. What are their major pain points right now? What's their ideal dream outcome? Dream outcome. If you could close and ask them, close your eyes, and if you could have this problem that you have right now completely resolved, what do you look like? What does a superhero version of yourself look like? And maybe that's, well, I'd be less stressed about this and have more time home with my kids and my wife, and the company would grow with ease, and maybe the other C-suite staff would listen to me, and my frustrations would go away in this dream outcome. And the more bullet points you have on that, the more you can relate to them and get their head to nod. How quickly can you provide a quantitative result? I also said this earlier in a quiz, for example, for the executive leader, that an example I'm going to keep running through here. What leadership style are you? 30-second quiz. They fill the information out. They get their name and email put through, and then they understand which of the four they are and how they can become all the others through a quick 30-minute strategy call with that coach. So there's conversions along the way. How many people come in? How many click? Some people drop off, don't put their name and email in. But do you really want them? No. It's a waste of your time. My gosh, the amount of times I've heard coaches, or even these ads, we'll fill your calendar with leads. That waste your time? What's the point? What's the point? You want people that are ready and wanting to have that solution. What offer can you provide that is unique to you? Okay, I'll go to the executive leader example again. Something he kept pitching on was, here's John Maxwell's book of, I think it was like 7 Habits or something of leaders, right? He's missing 2 things, and one of the 7 is outdated. Let me tell you what's missing and what's wrong becoming a C-suite leader today for millennials. Ooh, what's missing? What did John Maxwell miss? I want to know. It's what makes him different. Again, each of you have something different for yourself. And why should they trust you? The authoritative figure. Have you done this before? How many others have you helped? You very likely have gone through the same trenches and frustrations that others have gone through. For myself, entrepreneurs in general, the ones that relate to me the most are I started my journey. I left the executive world. I said, I'm going to get this going. Things worked out for a little bit. They dipped low. I struggled. Finances sucked. I had self-doubt. I didn't know what to do next. And then I started climbing it back up. I had a realization. I knew what it was that was going to work. I started making it happen. Their life. I've been in those. I've been in those trenches before. I get it. I relate. Those stories are gold. Utilizing landing pages and lead capture strategies to gather the interested prospects. Now, here's one on the left, for example, where it was a very basic and plain page before. But what caught their eye? They come in and, yes, there's fancy pages like this. And if it were all lorem ipsum, you go, okay, I have an idea of what this guy may do. It's got a style to him that matches him. And there's going to be a style to you that matches you. But having a page that comes in, for example, this one is his homepage right now, but there's other pages that come in for lead capture, et cetera, of taking a full action moving forward. It's one button, take the next action. Nurturing those leads through personalized follow-ups and valuable content. And I brought up earlier, as soon as they click on that button, for example, in the executive leadership guide, they fill it out. Let's say they don't book a call. That should be an entire sequence of emails that go out saying, I've been there before. I understand your pain. This was the realization that I came through that got me out of the hole. Here's how I like helping others. Just simple stories. I call it the Seinfeld sequence. Why was Seinfeld so good at all of it? Because they were just stories. Each and every episode was just a fun daily story that we can all relate to. Whether it's I didn't watch Seinfeld. This is going to be difficult. It being too cold outside, not having the right jacket on, or a frustration with your kids, or anything like that. There's short stories that are relatable. You may think, well, no one's going to care about that I dealt with this before and this. If there's a lesson behind it, yes. For him, it was I'm trying to remember the one was from particular. Growing up, I took my kids to the grocery store and I wanted to teach them about active listening. Not what they wanted to hear, but what I was saying, and for them to hear what I had to say, think, and then respond based on what I had to say versus I say something and they're passively listening. It's just, can't wait for you to shut up so I can say what I have to say. He brought it up with his kid. He told a story. People related. They go, I do that as parenting. That makes sense. I like this guy. Huh. Sound familiar? And building a funnel is an ongoing process that requires adjustments. So I say that in the sense of everything I'm teaching here is for a lifetime of success. If you fill in those blanks, it will work for a lifetime. Now, adjusting in here is, let's say, okay, one other coach I work with, perfect example. He helped with understanding facial recognitions of people and how to kind of like read their mind through how their eyebrows are, how their nose is face down, if their head's down, if their head's up, if their hands are up, all those types of things. So what would be something that's new, pivot off of to get people in? And that one happened to be, remember when the Menendez brothers was hot on Netflix? He says, I watched through this and look at their facial expressions in the acting. Look at their facial expressions in real life. I can tell by this is how they were feeling. It was something hot in the moment that was a lead magnet to prove he knew what he was talking about. So still a lead magnet that got people in and moving through, but adjusting to the times here and there. How to measure your funnel success. You could put all this stuff together and map it and go, I have no idea how many people are coming in, how many are converting, but it's critical to have the ability to measure this. And to maximize the effectiveness of your funnel, and funnel measurement is crucial. KPIs, key performance indicators, help you gauge the success. I'm sure we've heard that term before. And when you monitor your metrics, you don't need to stare at them every day, but at least know that they are there. Of the click-through rates, the retention. We're able to see if they come on a certain page, the average person scrolls this far, or the average person clicks this many times, or they're actively reading this section. It's great information to know. You can mildly tweak here and there because of that. And these adjustments can significantly enhance funnel performance. But if you have an idea of what works already in the industry, or if you're someone who's worked with, I don't know, like 1,000 coaches and has done this before, it's easy to kind of map out what works in those conversion phases. And always be ready to optimize based on measurable outcomes. Again, something hot was the Menendez brothers. Stay on top of it, put it out there. People are curious. Ooh, I watched that. I want to know. And these are great dinner time discussion topics where they're like, hey, I took this quiz. I saw what this guy had to say about these components right here. And did you know about, for the executive leader, did you know about authoritative figure in here or the communications type leader over here? I forget the other few. Did you know about this? This is what it means. Great dinner time discussion. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. This is actually a quote that my mentor told me years ago. I couldn't agree more. I'm a mechanical engineer by trade who happens to then go into sales and marketing. Weird unicorn, I don't know. But I like analytics. I like the data. I like knowing what works and converts. But I also understand the visionary aspect of getting people through with storytelling and mapping something out. Now, the transformative power of funnels. We've heard the term funnels before over and over again. I'm sure we're sick of hearing it and people saying, you need this new funnel. It's going to help you do this and this. It's not just a trend. They're not going away. And having proper funnels for your services is what's going to take you to the next level. They present a paradigm shift in online marketing and transform your approach and watch your business grow. I promise you, in going from a traditional Wix site or a WordPress site that has all this information and it hasn't been updated in God knows how long, and you're like, well, I don't really send people to this, or I just get people from, meeting people and referrals and relationships. How much money are you leaving on the table? Can you measure it? Because if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. Be open to experimenting with these different strategies and finding what works. Now, it's true, harnessing the power of funnels can lead to exponential growth. Actually, it's extremely true. It's a fact. And the future of your business depends on your willingness to adapt. Now, there's a lot of people I've spoken out there to, and they go, Joe, I've been doing this for 20 years, and my website works fine for me, and it was built on GeoCities, and I'm fine where I'm at. Oh, that's fine. That's okay. If you want to stay where you're at, perfectly fine. If you want to grow, the only way to do so is if you understand your customer's journey and map funnels to match it, period. Embracing automations. Who likes spending all day on their computer for their business? Nobody, right? My joke in leaving corporate was I left my 9 to 5 to work 24/7. And I did, right? The action of, geez, I'm not going to get emotional, but the reality is my wife, who was through her pregnancy and the whole, honey, can you come to dinner? Just one more thing I'm fixing up through here. And I was growing, building my business. I now have 13 employees that work for me. But automations, people that do the work for me, time that could be taken away, so that way you can do, what's a dream outcome for you guys? Doing the things you love, seeing results with people that you care about, maybe traveling with your spouse, living your life, seeing grandkids for some of you. Automating all this is critical. And you may say, okay, well, what needs to be automated? I brought up, if someone in that leadership example, I brought up who fills out that quiz and doesn't take the next action, all those emails built out in a sequence that come through need to be automated. If they clicked on it, what happens after? If they didn't click on it, what happens after? This is part of that customer journey, engagement. If they clicked on it, that means they have interest. They should be into a different automated sequence. If they didn't click on it, they should get another email that says, you know what the best one for me is? If I get a subject line that says Joe, and then the title is hello. That works so well. Okay, you have my attention. Yes, I'm sorry. I've been busy. I'm going to schedule a call. That's a little different for each of you, but there are loads of sequences on the back end that can make your life so much easier. And no, it's not just Calendly. It's not just the stuff on MailChimp. It's not just stuff on SurveyMonkey. There are hundreds of automations that can go in place that have kind of been already mapped out in a rough snapshot, if you will, I've done that could be tweaked for your business. So embrace technology to enhance your funnel performance. This is the logo for High Level. I currently use High Level. I call it LFG, which is let's freaking go, right? Because we're all on the way on top, right? And inside High Level in my service, I help coaches get in, adapt, have their new funnels in place, have their automations in place, have all their campaigns in place, have all their social media automations in place, the calendars in place, the invoices in place. The list goes on in one place. Plus a whole bunch of additional layers of weekly calls that I have for free if you join in and say, I have some questions about this. I need to learn more about this. Joe, what do you suggest? I wanted to take High Level and I wanted to sell it under LFG for the exact same price that High Level does, but offer so much more value. That's an irresistible offer. It's the same price as High Level that I offer. Same. But there's so much more involved, and the value is, well, I'll call it through the roof. Staying ahead of trends. Online marketing is, yes, consistently evolving. Many of us, including me, have tried, worked, seen a success, seen a fail of the LinkedIn DM strategy. We've done it. I've used an agency. We'll get you 30 qualified leads on your calendar. We'll send out to 10,000 people through DMs on LinkedIn, your target audience. Okay. And that worked a little bit in the beginning. It worked for me. And now everyone's getting these messages left and right, and you have to adapt. That didn't work. What's next? How can I make something unique to hit my audience? In many ways, a lot of the outreach I do, other than ads, cold emails. Good cold emails. Seems old school, but it works really well for me. For the executive coach I brought up, he wasn't sending any cold emails. Then he had a 70% open rate for emails going out. And of those 70% of people, 60% were clicking the button to find out what leadership style they are because they wanted to know. And understanding these shifts in your consumer behavior can help you adapt your funnels. Another executive leadership coach. Another one we may come out with is, okay, Gen Z, these millennials, their actions. How can you become an ultimate leader dealing with the that may be frustrating? In a work from home mindset where they're now coming back into office. So many big companies have laid off or brought people back into the office. But use that. Use that. If your kids are of the average age of the employees that you are advising or of the CEOs, teaching, coaching, et cetera, that ask them, hey, what's hot right now? I'm using like TikTok references and stuff. I'm not even on TikTok. But I mean, get on their level. And being proactive about these trends puts your business one step ahead. I'm going to keep going back to Tony Robbins' piece here. Many are like, oh, geez, Tony Robbins. I mean, the dude's making well over 100 million a month. How is he doing that? Every single week, he's on top of trends. He's using the exact same funnel stuff I mentioned in here, mapped out, and knows his ideal customer to a T. He knows every detail about what they've done, what they've tried, what didn't work, what their struggles were, what their frustrations were, and that they want to get to the top. And they're tired of all the other crap that didn't work, and they want a real solution. That's why he's doing so well. Innovate and stay relevant. Conclusion. Funnels are not just a buzzword. They can and will transform your business and online presence. They avoid a structured approach to converting leads into loyal customers. You can map this out. The entire availability to do so is there and ready. If you don't know your customer's journey and have the right funnels in place to do so, it's leaving an insane amount of money on the table. And again, there was a survey that was recently done. Over 97% of coaches have just a website with a book a strategy call, or it's confusing for someone to move forward because money hates confusion. And investing in funnels creates an opportunity of sustained growth. I mean, it will have sustained growth. And you may already have some funnels, but what does your customer journey look like? Do you know? Do you know what their emotions are throughout the entire process for your ideal customer? So don't overlook the power of a well-constructed funnel. I'm sure many of us have been burned before of get this one funnel for $27 and this lead magnet, and then get these other copy emails, et cetera. I get it. That stuff is nice, and those people do make money on that. It's not specific to you. But if it was specific to you and that funnel was in the right stage of your customer journey, that's where the difference is. That's the big miss. So it's time to take action and implement what you've learned, right? Oh gosh, what if I mess it up? I'm not a CMO. I don't know. I haven't. I go on Fiverr to help. I don't have time for this. I'm not a graphic designer. I only have Canva on the free version. What the heck? This all leads to a really important question I have for you all. Ready? How much longer are you going to put your valuable time into a system or lack of a system that's not producing results that you signed up for? How much more time? How valuable is your time? It's my most valuable asset. I'm sure it's your most valuable asset too. The desired outcome that you want, the big win, you close your eyes. How much time are you willing to let pass before that actually happens? What if a super smart marketing team could work with you, key phrase, not what's your name and these key details, and I'll just roll from there. I mean, understand you, to craft a proven, bulletproof, and guaranteed blueprint for your specialty, all handed on a silver platter, or today a red platter. How's that sound? It'd be nice, right? Getting your name out there and securing clients is hard. It's extremely, extremely difficult, especially trying to do it by yourself, or trying to go into all these other, hot tips that come out through ads, or, I'm going to try this strategy. I'm going to try this strategy. I'm going to try this strategy. I'm going to try this. It's frustrating. Really, it's frustrating. It doesn't have to be this way. And I promise you, you're not alone. And even if you've hit $10,000 months, even if you hit 50K months, is that where you want to end? What's your exit strategy? You want to hit 100K months? Do you want to be completely removed from the business? Do you want to have a complete structure that's laid out for the ultimate desire that you want? What if I was able to? That's an AI image of me. I'm not actually that thin, but AI does a great job. I'm not that tan either. What if I was able to work with you one-on-one and map out what's working in the market for the top earners? Again, I've had many clients that hit $1 million months. Most clients are struggling to hit their first 10K month, and then in the first year, scale over 50K in their revenue. Now, that's not 50K in revenue and $0 in profit. That's 50K in revenue. This is high margin industry, right? And very high profit margins. Because a lot of these ads go, do you want to have your first 50K revenue month by spending 50K in ads? No. You're smart. Create bulletproof offers for you that sell seamlessly while you sleep, and hand you the exact funnels, tell you exactly what they are, the automations, the emails, the components need to scale to hit your first 10K or even 100K month on autopilot. What if that was all done and live for you in 4 weeks? Sound cool, right? Now, I want to share with you what the actual layout is and what you need for your business, tell you exactly what's done to put into place so that we can take the next steps. That's what I'd love to do. And my biggest win of all of this, yes, is helping you. But as I mentioned, I have a 1-month-old son. My biggest joy in all of this, I learned something new from each and every one of you that I get to pass on to my son. What greater joy do I have? That is, I'm winning. I'm learning something from every single one of you, something, quote, a tip, a leadership skill, a life skill, something, because you're all subject matter experts, that I get to pass on to my son. What a cool dad I am. Let me tell you more about that case study. That executive leadership coach, he was a personal brand, just him. He was currently coaching and sometimes consulting for small, medium business CEOs, right? He had one website that was far too confusing with too many pages and info about him. It went on and on and on and on, and there were buttons here and buttons here and buttons there, yada, yada. But this page looks good because this person did it for me. They were fighting an uphill battle trying to get the word out about his service. Now, they hit 30K month before, and then went back down to 20, and back down to 10, and hit 20, and then back down, and had 5, and then it hit like under 5 for 3 months in a row. Is that sustainable? Does that make sense? Is that what you want? He was booking a few calls, depending on the month, where he was speaking, who heard about him, but had trouble closing them after the had to think about it phase. So we gathered data. Again, those questions I brought up earlier that I believe most people wrote down. We remapped their entire customer journey. We understood where they were in the phase, where they're going to go to the next phase, at what point they care about him, and how they can get to the next level, from quick result to long-term result. Pain points, ideal outcome, quantitative results, etc., and why they should trust him. I mean, he was a CEO for 22 years of a State Street-owned company, and it wasn't even on his website. Like, he didn't like push that, or a few bits were, but it was in like the smallest little font in open sans that you couldn't even read. That should be up top. Results. We mapped it all for him, and the last month that he had before he got really frustrated and said, I'm tired of this back and forth, he did 2K, just under 2K that previous month. And then we grew him, and then on the third month, he had 27,000, and we continued to grow from there. Right now, he's just under 100,000. We were able to map out the whole journey. We were able to understand what he needed. And for him, for example, it was monthly leadership workshop funnel, a leadership style assessment funnel, 90-day growth funnel. He had bi-weekly legacy leadership calls to becoming the ultimate legacy that you desire. He had high converting emails in there. He embraced a community that was built out. It was all mapped out specific for his style that worked for him. He wasn't a YouTuber. He didn't want to be on the camera left and right, but someone else, another leadership coach, did and could achieve the same results. It depends, right? On you. Now I could go on and on and on and on and on about, I love being one-on-one and texting these people and coaches and say, hey, tell me about your results. And it's probably too small for you to read right now unless your vision is perfect, right? But I love taking people who are gotten to the point of frustration. They haven't had the sustainability through it, whether you're a coach or consultant, B2B or B2C, and you're ready to hit that 10K, 50K, or 100K and beyond legacy for your name and business. Sound cool? I thought so. I made that up, but I'm assuming so, right? That's why I've created something just for you.
All right. And if you've gotten this far, sounds like you've cram-packed yourself with loads of funnel and customer journey knowledge. So if you'd like something like this created for yourself, I want you to click that link that's right below to get instant access and to get started for yourself. It's critical to have the right funnels in the right places of your customer's journey. Otherwise, you're going to be losing them left and right. So again, if this has interest to you, please click that link below. Of course, and always like and subscribe and leave a comment below. I'll be sure to answer them as they pop in. All right, thanks again for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.